Hey folks, Dude here, coming to you on another occasion of Dude After Dark. So those people not in the room, you got to get in the room. Obviously, you got to be in the room to observe Dude After Dark. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Yeah, there's a couple venues to pick from, so you guys could find something going on there. You can maybe find something to do. So eventually, we will be all up and running and good stuff like that there. I guess people just need to realize that I'm actually doing a show this week. So yeah, concurrently, we will find out things and people will figure stuff out. And we'll move on there. So, Beetlejuice, live 5x5, good stuff like that there. Let me crack this sucker and open here so I can see what's going on in the scheme of things. Oh, man. This has been a hellaciously either good, bad, or call it as it were, not unexpected, but unfortunately, we did have to bid adieu to basically normal society, pointing us in the direction of being good Knicks versus bad Knicks. We did eventually now realize the inevitable that, well, he ain't ever going to be here forever. So unfortunately, we had to bid farewell to Rush Limbaugh, and I commend you, sir, to absent companions. He shall definitely be missed. All right, so looking at things now, a couple minutes before my usual start time, or 9 o'clock as it were. And so we're not waiting for things on that one. Basically, YouTube every once in a while sketches up a little bit. You see that somebody is in the room. Appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. If you wish to make comments in the chat room is off over there. So if you guys wish to, basically make comments, there's stuff over there. Okay, so in this little area here, you wish to type, make comments, and then everybody can see what you have to say. What do I have to say? I pretty much got this. Gadsden flag, man. Gadsden. That's all I'm going to say about that one right there, okay? Oh, actually, Facebook side. That one right there. Gadsden flag. Don't try it on me. All right, so looking at the scheme of things, my usual news spiel. I've been doing a lot of memes, but the thing about it is I tend to always have a point with my memes. I don't just simply just throw stuff out there and it's like, oh, look, here's a cute one about cats, or here's something about something else that's just some foofy kind of nonsensical poofy thing. But, I tend to get very, very unbridled with some of my posts. And truthfully, some of those things can be really, truly, what the heck is Facebook doing now? Facebook is has these little new tip and see what it says. Share to groups. Yeah, obviously. So redundant sometimes. Okay, anyway, I get very snarky. I get very sarcastic. And I tend to do things that were pretty much just, I'm kind of like riding the ragged edge. But I have done something, and hopefully this is going to be something that comes into play to save me from being booted out for the 3 days, 1 day, 5 days, 7 day, 30 day, call it what you will, on Facebook, is I went through and I clicked every single Facebook fact checker blocked. Every single one that I could find. Anybody that had the name fact in their username, blocked. So far, I haven't had a peep. So maybe any kind of fact checker is the kind of butt bung that you don't want scoping over your stuff. Looking at the YouTube side, we do have one person in the room. Patriot Favorite 1776. Patriot Favorite reporting with Little Patriot 3 just about out for evening. Well, dude, hope you hang out for a little while at least. But anyway, looking at the scheme of things, basically Patriot Fever, I don't know if you caught when I came in, but basically toasted the memory of Rush Limbaugh. It's one of those things that kind of sucks too. Is I actually posted up in the news story that his syndication service says, well, we're going to run it for a little while longer till people get used to the idea that, well, he's dead. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those annoying things. I mean, let me actually read off what they said in their post. Following today's passing of Rush Limbaugh, Premier Networks has revealed their short-term plans for his show. In a statement, Premier notes, quote, Rush's voice will continue to be heard, providing comfort and continuing insight to his legion of loyal fans. All of Rush's audio has been extensively archived and cataloged. Will pull segments that are relevant for each day's news cycle and allow us to feature the best of Rush for the full 3 hours of the program, end quote. Guest hosts will be used to, quote, guide Rush's audio from one topic to another, but Rush will be the preeminent voice heard for the 3-hour Monday through Friday show, the AM Daily Update, and This Week in Review 3-hour show. The show will continue with this transitional programming until his audience is prepared to say goodbye, with additional information posted at rushlimbaugh.com when necessary. We have heard from affiliates who have been told it'll be a minimum of 90 days before permanent plans for the 12 to 3 Eastern slot are solidified. This is coming from radioinsight.com. A whole bunch more scrap in there, and the Premier sets short-term plans. There is no replacement for somebody of Rush's caliber. There is nobody on the planet that is even close to him in terms of his knowledge, his ability to just wordsmith. I say I'm pretty much a hack trying to do what I try to do, and I am not even in the same league, realm, or universe as the kind of stuff that he could do. That said, it's going to be a kind of hard thing to deal with the fact that he's now gone. Excuse me, I got a little sinus thing going on here. I tend to think what it is for its basic instance is essentially this, is that I tend to think that Rush was hanging out until he saw that the second impeachment wasn't going anywhere, and he said, you know what? My work here is done. I can rest. I kind of think that's good shiznit. Let's see. Looking on the other side of the aisle, supposedly there's like a California representative named Sanchez and 13 Democrats, and not to be buried in Arlington National Cemetery. They're so affronted by the fact that he won that they want to erase any mention of him whatsoever on the planet. Ain't going to happen. There's plenty of people who like the guy. Let's see. Scroll. The NFL, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but there's a lot of people that have pretty much said at this point they're not watching football anymore with all the politics and all the useless kneeling and all the rest of this crap. And supposedly, I actually got a fact check in there because Facebook is so disenfranchised of the fact that I'm putting the news out there, is that supposedly the NFL has pledged over the next 10 years to put $250 million towards BLM and its motivated means of dispersion of funds, shall we say. That's $25 million a year, okay? Now, here's the thing, is the NFL right now, it's not doing great. This was the lowest watched episode of any, super, how do I say it without saying, well, I'll just say it, Super Bowl trademarked by the NFL, okay? It was the lowest watched NFL occasion of the Super Bowl trademarked by the NFL since 1969. Now, if you think about 1969, what the heck was going on? Well, there's a whole lot of hippies. There's a whole lot of racial tension. Oh, yeah, a bunch of people happen to be over in Vietnam. Nixon and all the rest of that fun stuff. Anyway, so look at the way, shape, and form of things. I think this is double stupidity on the NFL's part to go, yeah, we want to really be pejorative and we want to do something that's even more snarky, no matter what the STFU about it, okay? Just that one right there, STFU. Shut the blank up about it. Anyway, so they're now contributing a ass ton of money towards BLM. And, of course, Facebook is now freaking out, going, oh, it's not really true. It is true, okay? It's been substantiated, it's been well stated, and it's now verified. Supposedly, Biden is now very, very, very concerned about like the House and the Senate being flipped in 2 years. If they do something, and there's more news on that one. Stand by for that one. I got a related story. But Biden says he won't rule out doing executive orders to crack down on the Second Amendment rights. Why do you feel the need to crack down on Second Amendment rights in the first place? You don't feel the need to crack down the First Amendment. There's no need for you guys to go, well, those newspapers, they just fire off stories all the time indiscriminately. We got to stop them from doing this all the time with blanket statements and too many stories, and we need to have regulation on these things. No, freedom of speech is an absolute. They know it's an absolute. Short of screaming fire at a theater and stuff like that. But it's one of those things they know they cannot regulate. And if they do, it blows up in their face with a ridiculously huge hurry. Now, the other thing, too, is also they know if they do these things, it'll reflect poorly on them next election time. So they don't do it on the First Amendment. But they're now thinking they can do this on the Second Amendment. Now, there's also a related story on this, is they now put out H.R. 8, or House Resolution Bill 8. What this bill says is there's going to be full registration of firearms, and there's going to be no private sales of guns in the United States. Joe... Hang on a second. I gotta find the right sound effect here. I cannot say this without saying this incorrectly. Right. President Joe. Yeah, President. Yeah, him. Mr. Yeah, Joe. Okay, I got it, sound guy. Right, they got it, okay? He's Joe. Joe. He messed up. Okay. Well, anyway, Joe. I got him that time. Oh, man. All right, stop. The President of the United States. He's doing it again. Anyway, Mr. Oh. Okay. Anyway, so he said he's going to basically do executive orders. But here's the thing you got to remember about any form of gun legislation, the 1994 assault weapon ban, any kind of, stuff that they're ramming home. Usually if it's a dichotomy of one party's running the White House, another party has a House and Senate, it blows up in their face with a spectacular fury. Even Bill Clinton admits the assault weapon ban was a huge blanking mistake. It cost him 40 plus seats. He lost the House. He lost the Senate. H.R. 8 is a losing proposition, Democrats. Remember this. Talk cocky all you want to. You will not win this. The SAFE Act in New York banned, quote unquote, or made registration on assault weapons. They've had in New York, they've had 3% of people going, oh, please don't take my stuff. Here's my registration form. 3%. 39 million more people now are gun owners in the United States over last year alone. 39 million more. The firearms population in the United States right now is ridiculous. I mean, absolutely insane. You're probably talking somewhere about 5 to 600 million firearms minimum. We're probably talking somewhere between 1 to 7 trillion rounds of ammunition in the hands of free citizens. Joe. That's right. I messed that one up. Joe. I keep screwing that one up. Joe. That's right. You will know for a fact if you ram this thing home, it is going to come back and, well, let's just say it's going to right up the old pooper. Yeah, that's right. You're gonna get it, man. And you really need to just sit in the White House for about 5 minutes and go, now is not the time. Because if you do this and okay, thanks, sound guy. If you do this strident march to be the socialist nation of which you think everybody wants, dude, you're in big time trouble because that's not going to fly. In 2 years, you will lose the House and Senate. You will be even more irrelevant than you are currently. Excuse me a second here. I got to look over in the room. Everybody's starting to chat up like crazy here. Abrams now in the room. Appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. Fellow Patriots, this, that, and the other thing. I would never hunt. Biden. No, hang on a second. You got to do it correctly, okay? You got to do it correctly. He's not Biden, okay? He is. He's Joe Caca, okay? Because he's Caca. Joe Caca can go suck a soap bar. Do you want partisans? Because that's how you get partisans. Abrams. Nothing to ram it through. Cowboys and liberals. Please don't compare liberals like myself to Marxists. Well, unfortunately, Abrams, the term has been co-opted. You know, and I know the classic firm sentence therein when you describe a classic liberal. You're talking a Jeffersonian. You're talking to guys on the left wing who are against the establishment, who are trying to usurp the rule of the common man. I get it, dude. I get it. Unfortunately, though, because the term's been co-opted, you have to call them liberals. But actually, technically, you probably should just simply call them socialists because they really tend to follow along with Yeah, that's the thing that people tend to forget is Nazi is a contraction for NSDAP or National Socialist Deutsche Arbeitspartei, which is basically a bad pronunciation on my part, which is the German Socialist Workers' Party, which is what Nazi was a contraction of. Nazis were socialists. They may have been more fascist in their way of doing things. They are hardcore socialists, but they were socialists, okay? Why they actually duked it out so much with the Russians, I have no clue, because they both came to the same conclusion when you really got right down to it. I tend to think Hitler really bit off more than he can chew, messing around with, with all the guys in Stalin, Stalin's army. It was the worst mistake he ever made. Dude, you and I have a point, so let's just say Cowboys and Diplots. Yeah, pretty much. We're definitely in league with that one. All right, so anyway, looking at the scheme of things, hang on one second. I got to drag something off my page. That's the downside when you have, windows and you have tons of windows open. You have too many windows all try to crab together and try to take too much attention from you. When you really, truly just want to go, oh, I want this instead. It goes, boop, did you want this? No, stop. Or if you accidentally click on the one frame, it pops up and you don't really want that at that time. But it is what it is. Okay, so anyway, let me go back over here, my stack of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's obviously sad passing, Rush, and I don't want to keep beleaguering the fact that he's now gone, but he's gone. That's going to be a huge hole. There's no way in the world you're going to replace the guy. There is other people, though, I think would be really interesting in his stead, like a rotating group of people, like his substitute hosts. Read maybe not Mark Levin so much because he's got his own show now, but like Mark Stein, man. Mark Stein, he never fails to crack me up. He's got this kind of acerbic British kind of tongue-in-cheek way of addressing things, and he's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, lost another of the great ones. Walter E. Williams, black by popular demand. I truly enjoyed when he I just dropped something. I truly enjoyed when he guest hosted on Rush Limbaugh's show. He was a lot of fun. G. Gordon Liddy is like way old at this point. I don't think Liddy really could pick up the mantle at this point. I mean, he's like 94, 3. Now I got to cheat. I have to cheat because I forget just how old the guy is. Yeah, he's 90, okay? And he quit doing his radio show like 7 years ago. So he really ran long in the tooth and finally said, okay, I'm done with this stuff. Maybe it's more years than that, but I remember listening to his radio show, and I used to literally jump from his show to Rush's show because they ran simultaneously on 2 channels when I drove around, the Washington, D.C. area and, Maryland, D.C., Virginia, basically is where I operated out of. and I would be able to jump channels with those two guys perfectly. I think Sean Hannity was starting up at that point. He wasn't really that notable, but I think he followed after Rush or something on the local radio station. You know, I was jumping AM channels. So it was like 2 AM channels I would jump back and forth, and I would have full coverage on that one. You know, between like commercials, I would jump between Liddy and the other guy, and you know, Liddy and Rush, and then, you know, Liddy and the other guy, or a substitute host and whatnot. I was always like able to keep up with my, you know, news interspersing my workload, which is annoying as hell sometimes because my boss would be calling me on the 2-way and he's like calling me. And I'm like, okay, why do you keep calling me every 3 seconds? You just confirmed what I'm doing. Stop micromanaging me. I'm trying to drive. He's like, well, I'm going to pull the radio out of the truck. It's like, yeah, that's also the day you got a truck parked in your yard, you know, because you're being annoying. Stop. Leave me alone. So anyway, looking at the scheme of things, you know, we need a good, reliable host to pick up the mantle. Is there going to be such an animal? No, there is no a direct replacement for Rush Limbaugh. It's just not going to happen. There is no slot-in guy going, okay, we take out the old Rush, we put in a new Rush. There is no new Rush. Sean Hannity and me, he's Sean Hannity. I mean, I'm really, you know, I'll listen to his show a little bit, but the guy really just doesn't do anything for me. He's not the same guy. Literally not the same guy. There is no replacement for something that is so unique. You just can't replace it. It's like saying, okay, I'm going to replace new Coke with better Coke, or old Coke with new Coke. Yeah, no, it's not the same thing. It's just not, okay? I don't know if you guys have done this or not, but I attended a gun show in York, Pennsylvania. And in the process of attending that gun show, I was walking around and I saw there was a recruitment desk for the Gun Owners of America, GOA. Y'all need to join the GOA. You know, you need to join the JPFO, which is the Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership. Both of these groups are no compromise institutions. They're not like the NRA. The NRA is a bunch of deal-making lobbyist wannabe guys who pretty much stick their nose in when it's inconvenient. They go, they're feeling the wind to go, yeah, we need to log in on this one. We need to make ourselves notable. And, well, okay. Mrs. Dude's rolling out. So anyway, in the scheme of things, they're really not that much anymore. I mean, you know, the NRA really, back in the past, when the NRA were a bunch of, you know, hell-storming, you know, barn skipping, you know, daredevils. Not so much nowadays. And the biggest damn problem is the mere fact that, of course, oh yeah, they did the, you know, the bankruptcy to get out of New York and all the rest of that. That's reorganization. Okay, they're not bankrupt. You know, never ever think that the NRA is broke. They're not. It's basically a reorganization, so they can relocate with a minimal amount of New York boning them for the cash going out the door. That was actually a very smart political move on their part. What they said essentially is, okay, let's get out the door and not get hosed in the process. Okay, how do we do this thing without getting boned completely? Oh, well, let's just declare bankruptcy. We're worth squat. That way New York goes, oh, yeah, okay, well, we didn't get that much. No, that's the reason why they did do that, is they could go out without getting raped, pillaged, and burned by the New York establishment, who really want their pound of flesh, if not more than 5 pounds of flesh. Just give me 1 second. So anyway, I would definitely recommend you joining the GOA, Gun Owners of America, and the JPFO. Both of those organizations cost you like $25 a year. It would be money very, very well spent. The NRA needs to get rid of, Wayne LaPierre. Once they get rid of Wayne LaPierre and they show that they're serious, the best way that they can show they're serious right now is to tell Wayne LaPierre, thank you so much for your services, but you need to move on and get the F out of here. They need to put Donald Trump Jr. into the leadership position of the NRA. If they do that, if they make that kind of a strident stance, if they say, this is where we need to be, they will pay major dividends with an increased amount of people signing on board saying, yes, this is definitely the group of people which I ascribe to, and this is definitely the bunch of guys that really, truly mean business. Let me jump over here. I've been out of the room for a little while, guys, so let me catch up a second here from the comments back and forth. Rotate the host and keep the name Rush Limbaugh Show. Here. As a matter of fact, I am so beholden to that. I would say that would be absolutely the best way of doing it because there is no replacement for Rush Limbaugh. But we can definitely keep his memory alive. We can keep his show going. And the guy was on the air for 33 plus years. We have such a voluminous amount of stuff to listen to. We're not going to run out of stuff to listen to. It's even notable from Time in Eternal when he was back years ago making a comment about something. And I actually watched a show that he did. I think it was like 88 or something. I forget what year it was. I actually watched the video on YouTube, and I thought it was really, really cool. You know, as a matter of fact, I might be able to pull it up real fast. Hang on one second here. I might still be able to access it pretty easy here. So give me 1 second here. But it was a video that they shot of him like really early in his career, and it was C-SPAN of all things, sitting in and doing a simulcast live. Let's see, it was flashback, Rush Limbaugh Show on WABC New York, 1990. Yeah, that's what it was. I got the video in my watch later file, so I still got that there, man. And I watched it, and it's just like he has maybe a little bit less polished than he did a little bit later on, and he had way more interaction with the crew and whatnot. But it was a bunch of New York guys coming out of the room in between segments and, chatting it up with him. And you can see the behind the scenes of really what Rush is like. And he's, really just the same guy as what you hear on the radio is what you get in real life. He really was that kind of guy. It wasn't like, he was like going, oh, okay, let me, glitch this slightly and act more like that, or, amp it up this way or do this, that, and the other thing. Because pretty much what you saw and what you had that was it. That was Rush. Okay. I'm not going to give any, more fleshing out because you listen to the guy forever. You knew him, you loved him. He is what he is. Let's see. Oh, Logan, appreciate you coming by, dude. Appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. My resident Canadian from the Great White North, our resident Canuckistani, has now joined us. That and to cover the $50K car motor pool and Wayne buying $10,000 suits. Okay, here's the thing that really truly sucks about Wayne LaPierre. He makes $800,000 a year with bonuses and everything. He makes like $1.15 per year. Now, I would tend to think if you're going to do this correctly, you pay the guy $500,000 and you say, look, any of the remainder is exactly on how progressively effective you are at preserving our firearms rights. If you don't do it, well, let's just say you don't get, okay? You're not going to get it. You're simply not going to get it, because you just don't deserve it, man. You don't simply, put yourself into the financial equation of saying, oh, I'm going to be so effective that I'll... And you're slurping up all the friggin' profits, man. There's no way in the world you should be making that kind of money with that kind of representation where we don't get our rights preserved, okay? You don't get that stuff. And if you do... I'm so shorty. I don't know about that one, sound guy. That I don't know if that one was right, okay? No, I don't know about the sharded one. The sharded one was not good, okay? I would say that you really, truly don't get... Okay, yeah, that one worked, okay? He doesn't get... Exactly. He gets nothing. Nothing. Exactly. He gets that. He gets a stinky cloud. Yeah, exactly. All right, dude. Stop. Just stop. It's enough. No more private jets to Spain. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. that's about as far as I'm going to go on that one, man. But with the perks and the everythings that he's getting, redonkulous. Too much. Way too much. Let's see. Scroll. I don't know if you guys caught this or not, but this one kind of tickled me more than a little bit, because this is going to be one of those cases of Schadenfreude that really just makes me happy. Schadenfreude is taking pleasure in the suffering of others. It's a good German phrase. Should use it sometime. But yeah, suffering, the case of Schadenfreude. I'm just going to read my copy here that I put on Facebook. It's just going to be easier that way. Hateful liberal. Sorry, try again here. Can't talk today. Hateful leftard website gets tossed by Verizon. That's right. But Verizon also underwrites their losses. Why? Because liberals know they cannot win by public consumption of stupid leftardisms. Most people don't want it in their daily lives, no matter how they vote. So, quoted from the Florida Family Association, the New York Post published an article titled BuzzFeed Finalizes Deal for HuffPost, also known as the Huffington Puffington Post. Yes. The EIC search continues. The article reads in part. I might copy that twice, but BuzzFeed CEO Jonah Peretti, co-founder of the Huffington Post, with Ariana Huffington. She was the only reason why that thing, if it had like a moment's mention, was because of Huffington. On Tuesday, finalized the company's acquisition of the left-leaning news and culture site. The search for the new editor-in-chief is expected to move into high ground now that the deal is done. Huffington will operate as its own distinct brand within BuzzFeed and remain separate and independent from BuzzFeed News, said a spokesman who said the two sites will syndicate the material across both platforms. Here's the dirty little secret, though. Verizon got rid of it. Verizon is still paying for HuffPost to function. Really? Supposedly, BuzzFeed doesn't have the $4.7 billion net income that Verizon had in 2020, out of which they could subsidize HuffPost's estimated $25 million annual loss. Ow. Variety reported BuzzFeed cut staff salaries. CEO Jonah Peretti to forego pay during coronavirus crisis on March 25, 2020. TechCrunch.com reported BuzzFeed extends pay cuts and furloughs 68 employees on March 6, 2020. Liberals, nobody wants to hear your Bravo Sierra. Nobody wants to hear your crap, okay? Even when you think that you guys have,
Bullshit.
But no, you don't have those, okay? What you're doing here is you're putting out your...
Blowing out your ass.
Well, you're doing that, okay? You're definitely doing that. But you're putting out your best brand of... Bravo Sierra. Ew. Yeah, girls, thanks. Yeah, Democrats and liberals putting out their stuff. Oh, no. Bad. Just bad juju. So anyway, BuzzFeed got HuffPost. HuffPost, because it is so financially insolvent, and because liberals and Verizon are so beholden to make sure that HuffPost doesn't go away, are still paying money to support it. I got to tell you, folks, the only reason why I keep Verizon on my cell service is because it works 99.99999% of the time over the whole United States. It works in other places. That's the only flipping reason. But God bless it, man. This thing is just bad juju. Bad juju. Let's see. Sound guys needs a Beanie Weenie shirt. They need some lube for that one. Yeah, Patriots fever, they do. Gator Red, appreciate you coming by, dude. Think gun control like the governor of Florida to help stop rape. A lady said any lady needs or wants a pistol, pass all background of ladies with a weak rip down like none. Yeah, I'm sure, dude. Bad guys know. Don't jack with the little old lady with the 44 in her purse because she's going to drop your dick in the dirt. Let's see. Some extra special food right inside the burning toilet. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There. Best thing to do is cut the spuds off Mr. Potato Head. Did you see the other one too, where Dr. Seuss now is being neutered, or the Muppet Show is being neutered by Disney? Or like the chick that played Cara Dune. Come on. I think it's funny that Democrats and liberals need to edit their own stuff. And the thing that really sucks about Disney is they're such a huge enterprise, they just buy something. Oh, yeah, let's go get Sesame Street. They buy the Muppets. Oh, yeah, let's get Star Wars. They buy Star Wars. I think what the major thing about Star Wars is that Lucas is like, you know what? I'm kind of pretty much old and done with it. What do you want to do with it? And Disney's like, we want to do something. We want to do something. And of course, this is full jerk off mode. Oh, we want to do something with it. Oh, we want to go nuts with it. And he's like, all right, give me $1 billion, but I still want to run the place. And they're like, done. Done. We're so beholden. Oh, you want it? Oh, we'll give you the money. Yeah, that's just the way Disney works right now. Is they just simply say, we want it. Yeah. I can tell you for a fact, though, folks, looking at the scheme of things, and I've been on 4 cruises. I've been on 2 smaller boats, and I've been on number 3 and number 4 of the world's largest cruise vessels on the world's oceans. I'm not going to go on a Disney cruise. The reason being is obviously it's on a Disney boat, which means you cannot escape flipping Disney. The whole time you're there, it's la 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 la. The whole time you're there, it's like the worst. Okay, let's just say if you basically were stuck doing a porno film, and you're the guy that basically is like the guy that's basically pulling around the telephone pole. You're the guy with the wink wink telephone pole. Okay, and you walk onto the set of the porno set, and there's a bunch of hot chicks. And there's a couple other dudes, and they're all ready to go. And there's like circus music playing in the background, and everybody's dressed like clowns. You now have to perform in a situation like that and try to keep it together. That's being on a Disney cruise. You're like, okay, cool. I get to have the vacation time and enjoy myself. And the whole time you're there, kids running around. You can't escape you cannot escape the quote unquote Disney-ish of Disney at all. Now I'm gonna pull back the curtains just a little bit here. Mrs. Dude is a government employee, and as such, as a government employee with the Department of Defense, of which she is a member, she can access a group of hotels that is sponsored by the Department of Defense called Shades of Green. Now, if you guys know anything about, Disney in Florida, there's obviously all the different hotels and all the monorails and all the rest of it, you can access and all this other fun falderall. The monorails usually go from hotel to hotel to hotel to hotel. All the big sponsored hotels and whatnot. There's only one Disney hotel that has a dedicated monorail that only goes to the one hotel. Of that hotel is called the Polynesian. Obviously, it's a Hawaiian themed thing and what have you. But between the Polynesian and the golf course is what used to be the old golf hotel. Well, that golf hotel is now a Shades of Green location. So the nicest thing about going to Disney for Mrs. Dude and other family members and whatnot who are all basically, falling under the umbrella or work for the federal government under, certain auspices. You can sponsor a couple of rooms also. But when you go to this hotel, it has nothing to do with Disney. As a matter of fact, there's like zero Disney things in there except for this one room that I could tell you and post a picture of. It's actually Mrs. Dude's timeline. You guys could see it from like when we got married and whatnot, because we actually got married in Disney and we're married in that hotel. There's a big fiberglass Mickey Mouse that you can pose within the lobby. That's it. That's the only Disney thing you're going to find in that location. Otherwise, there is no and all the people running around in stupid costumes and hi, how you doing? We're so happy to see you. Fake smiles, fake smiles. There's none of that crap going on in the Shades of Green. And the thing about it is we can access the monorail to get to the Polynesian. To the Polynesian, we make a phone call to the Shades of Green. They come over with a golf cart, pick us up, take us back down there. That's it. That's the best part about going down there when you're sponsored under the Department of Defense is you're in a hotel that is not Disney. That's the best part. It's like a full exclusion. The only people who can go there are military members, persons that work for the Department of Defense, retired members of the military with the proper accreditation, and that's it. It is 0.0000001% Disney content of like the giant mouse in the lobby, and that's it. That's the only thing you're going to encounter in this hotel. But that's the best part about being in that hotel versus the rest of Disney, that you cannot escape Disney. Being on a Disney cruise, you ain't going to escape it. You're going to find some nuance of it. You're going to be like, oh, crud, I'm upstairs in the upper decks that are adults only, and I still can't get away from the and I'm doing generic sounds here because I know if I do any themes or any kind of, any Disney-oriented music themes, they're going to throw a trademark swipe on it and basically go, it's a copyright hit. So I'm not even going to do anything even close to that other than mention the name Disney. Let me look back in the room here real quick. Dude stroking the lightsaber is a bad idea. Oh, no. Oh, stroking the lightsaber. Yeah, you don't want to do that, okay? Don't stroke the lightsaber. Okay, don't do that either, all right? Stop. No, none of that. No laser blasts. Stop. Be good. All right, so anyway, let's see. Oh, where are we at now? We're at are we at that time now? I think we might be. It's 9:40, so we're 45 minutes into the show, actually. And I can play that hit. I can play that hit as many times as I want to. And, Cameron doesn't go, hey, you're using a... Okay, well, anyway, I'm probably going to be doing something else and, doing some kind of maybe a food thing.
So I thought I ate something.
Okay, Thanos commands I eat something. All right, so what are we looking at here? We're looking at... All right, hang on. Let me find it. I'll do it this time, okay? I got this, sound guy. We're looking at this. That's right. Pringles Scorching Chili Lime. Pringles Scorching Cheddar. And Pringles Scorching Barbecue. Oh, my stars and garters. This is going to be fun. What program does Sound Guy use for his sound effects anyways? Well, technically, he probably shouldn't say, but what it is usually just like, sound files that we save and just play. A week of hearing, it's a small world with driving abandoned ship. La, 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 I'm getting off. Sploosh. Oh, man. Yeah, that would be hilarious. A man was found today jumping off a cruise ship after listening to entirely too much Disney music. Oh, man. Okay, so anyway, oh, man. All All right, so what should I go with first? Barbecue, cheddar. You know what? I'm going to go with chili lime. That seems like a pretty safe starter. So here we go. We're going to do, the standard opening sound on microphone. Okay, so I have both microphones. Finally, I have both microphones side by side because I broke down and I found an extension cord that takes the classic microphone that I've been using and puts it into the headphone jack of the laptop. So hopefully the sound on the YouTube side sounds not quite so terrible as what it could have sounded because it's right next to the microphone that I've been using to run off of Facebook. All right. So let's just pop this sucker open here. So scorching. Hang on. I got this one, sound guy. Oh, let's see here. Is it this one? Yes, this one. Okay. I got the proper sound effect for a change. It's this one. So let me crack this sucker open. All right. Sniff check. Wow, it is like this very acidic kind of just immediate, like, hey, we're gonna pounce on you with all the the citrus thing. They're kind of like cheesy looking too. It's like really, really red on one side and kind of not so red on the other side. Now, if you guys are really seeing this or not, but it's like a couple little scant things on one side and like full coverage on the other. I think Mrs. Dude is texting me. Give me 1 second here. She usually does this kind of stuff to me when I'm on the show. Okay, so she asking me if I got something from the store. Real time, folks. You guys are seeing it. Okay, so it's like painted on one side, unpainted on the other side. And I guess I committed to you. This is the Scorching Chili Lime. Good lime flavor. A little chili. It's got a nice little throat hit, though. I mean, I'll give it that, man. Yeah, this has a nice little throat hit to it. All right, so let's say, how many stars out of 5 would I give this? Because the chili is really, really detuned, but because the throat hit is good and the lime is like right there, I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 stars. This one's not bad. All right, next on the agenda is going to be the scorching cheddar. Why? Because I can. And I like the smiley faces they're sticking on the little pull labels. Kind of cheesy. I'm just simply going to go with 2 chips this time, okay? Again, kind of scant painting job on the one side and almost nothing on the other. Kind of weak on that one, but let me give it a try. This one has less heat than the previous. Has a good cheese flavor, though. I'm gonna do 3 more, just to really, really spice it up. It's all right. Ow. My biscuits are burning. No, they're not. No, they're not. It's not that hot, dude. This one has less heat than the other one. Has a pretty good cheese flavor, but the heat is like down. Does have a nice little afterburn though. It's 2.5, maybe 3 stars as well. This one is eh. The previous one was better. The chili lime was better than the 2 of those. Okay, last one we're looking at is going to be why? Because I have to, the barbecue. So we got to do the barbecue one now. Why? Because, well, duh, I got it. I got to do it, okay? Bad timing, sound guy. I'm not done yet. Okay. All right, so now we're ready for them. Yes? His timing sucks sometimes. It really does. All right, so this one is going to be the scorching barbecue. Oh, okay. You almost got it right that time. Okay. All right. So scorching barbecue, is it? It's kind of thin on the coating. It looks like. Well, I'm gonna do 3 of these just so I get the good initial hit because I'm also loaded up with the other stuff. So let me go with this one as well, and hopefully it'll give me another little added advantage of saying, okay, this one is not so bad. It actually has some goodness to it. Okay. Ow. Mm. 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 Yeah. Yeah, this one is yeah, this one is yeah, this one is just gross, okay? Do not get the scorching barbecue. This one is just yeah, pure full on nasty. Yeah, just yeah, that, okay? Yeah, okay, you can say it's even yeah, it's yeah, this one's caca. This one's not good. This one is like 0 stars. And it kind of has like a barbecue thing, and then you get like this fake kind of smoke thing, just kind of yeah, that's what it says. Like this fake smoke just comes out of left field and just goes. Yeah, it's not okay. Yeah, it's definitely that, man. It's not okay. It's not. Yeah, this one was gross. I need a palate cleanser, man. I really do. Woo. I got a bag of these left on the desk. I forgot about these. Not a sponsor. Okay, but I can do these. Okay, not a sponsor. This is just a palate cleanser. Okay. Because we all know what the orange finger goodness tastes like. Mm. Yep, that one works. Mm. All right, so the previous one, I would say. All right, so like I said, the chili lime, that one was good. The cheddar one, not too terrible. But you know what? As soon as I cracked open and took a bite of the barbecue,
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Big time. I definitely knew I bleeped up. I bit into some. Yeah, that was definitely full on. Yeah, it was. It was not even something I had to. No, I just went straight from that to. Yeah, big time. Full on caca. Man, you want to talk about getting it pushed in? That was definitely it. More worried about the brown K and E. Avoid the purple. Oh, but the tube tastes better. Isn't Pringles a Pepsi product? Well, that's a dang good question. Let's just cheat that one out real fast right here. Is Pringles Pepsi? Can't remember how to type today. Nope. It's actually owned by Kellogg's. Kellogg's bought Pringles for $2.7 billion. So, if you don't like cereal, don't eat Pringles. Oh, man. Mm. Speaking of eating, my gotta get some kind of like fulfillment and like, the New York side of town kind of a thing kind of came into play. And earlier this week, I had found that I was looking at a package of like ends and pieces bacon. And it's like one of the stores I go to, they have like these like 1.5, almost 2 pound packs of like, ends and pieces bacon. And usually what I'll do with that is I'll fry it up. I'll throw it in a crock pot with something. And for this time, I was like, you know what? I wonder how this stuff would work with chili. So I literally took the bacon, fried it off, and in the crock pot, dumped in 2 big cans of kidney beans, a can of Rotella, so basically like the green chilies and, the goodness that you basically make, like really make some seriously good kicking chili con queso kind of stuff. A can of shredded tomatoes, basically stewed tomatoes, and a can of tomato paste. Fried up some onions, threw that in there, bunch of cumin, bunch of garlic, bunch of, your classic chili spices, and let that thing go. And I got to tell you what, man, it was good. And the only thing it really needed was some augmentation on some additional heat because, I tend to make it medium so people can dress it up and they can do it to what they want. I really meant, I don't want somebody to walk in there and go, oh, this is so good, but, oh. My biscuits are burning. My biscuits are burning. I don't want them to have their biscuits burning, okay? So what I do is I make it about a mild to not quite a medium. And then what I did was, of course, me having the New York nuance needed, went and got myself some hot dogs, some hot dog rolls. And I got to tell you what, man, I was dogging on some chili and dogs earlier, and it was like hitting the spot. It was hitting and sticking like Mama's fried chicken, to steal one of my friend's lines. And I got to tell you what, man, it was definitely kind of like fulfilling the thing. And I tell you the reason why it happened was I was talking with one of my friends on Facebook, and she's from New Jersey, and obviously I'm from New York City. And there's a lot of food culture that is really similar between those two areas. I mean, it's like you can go from one place to the other, and it's close enough. I mean, New Jersey pizza is New Jersey pizza. It's not the same thing as New York pizza, but it's better than Maryland pizza, okay? Trust me on that one. So we got to talking about, of all things, bagels, and we were just driving each other nuts describing, like, the best way to have, like, smoked salmon on a bagel. And I was really kind of jonesing for some, salmon bagels, bagels, lox, and cream cheese. I was like, all right, what else can I get to kind of like, channel and, kind of hit those need to eats? I was like, well, I already got this chili. Let me get some dogs and rolls and, I'll have some chili and hot dogs. Yeah. Because, that's kind of not so much New York, but the dogs, yeah. God, I'm going so New York on that one. I can't even say dogs without saying dogs. You just it's one of those things. It just crops up every once in a while. It's like the accent is just pervasive. You cannot get out of the accent once you have the accent built in. So it's not like I say I'm talking to somebody. It's always like dogs. I'd say DAWG, dogs, as opposed to dog. It's one of those things that kind of creeps in every once in a while. And they're like, dude, are you from New York? It's like, yeah. It's the pervasive, like the R's and A's and the aw. The aw is like the worst. But yeah, it's one of those pervasive things. You can't lose the accent once you got the accent. So anyway, so yeah, I was dogging on some dogs and chili, man. That was good stuff. Added bacon to chili, and had doubts would be good. Well, no. I was using the bacon instead of like ground beef. So then, of course, you got to remember, too, when you're making chili has to be greasy. So basically fried up some of the bacon, pulled it out, fried up the onions, threw some more bacon in there. When the bacon got a little bit nice and translucent, then a little bit brown, threw the bacon in there, fried up the rest of the bacon, dumped all of it, including the oil, into the chili because fat is flavor. But no, what I did was I substituted the bacon in lieu of using like some kind of ground beef or using, like venison or something like that for, like a base of a chili. I was just using the bacon. So it was basically bacon chili. And I still got some. So I'm definitely happily, snacking on it. The other family members are kind of definitely snacking on it. They're liking it. And it's kind of an experiment to throw the Rotella chili in there. I didn't know if that was going to work. Was it the chili pepper guys kind of, it's basically, it's like the seasoning thing that you throw in there for like Mexican food and whatnot. But I got to tell you what, man, it kind of gives it this nice little floral thing in the background, kind of gives a little bit of a sweetness. It's good. It's good. It's very good. And, of course, the tomato base, basically like a can of stewed tomatoes, and then like a small can of tomato paste. And that's really all it needed, man. It's got like this nice unctuous mouth thing going on. It's got a good flavor profile, and I'm definitely going to make it again because it was tasty, and I got a crock pot. So if you got a crock pot, get that sucker cranking, man. It's perfect cold weather food, and it's easy to do. You just add everything to the crock pot, turn the crock pot on, and let it go. It is about as easy as you're going to find probably next to those Instant Pots. I got one of those too, and I've just started playing with it. Got that for Christmas. I've only used it a few times. And a couple of experiments we've kind of found. It does chicken wings great. It really doesn't do dumplings so good. Other things we kind of experimented with, it's hit or miss. The only problem with the Instant Pot is it's bitty. It's a not very big container. It's basically enough for about a couple or a big person. It's about enough. Trying to do it for more than about 2 people, it's a little bit of a stretch. It's kind of not quite enough. You're doing multiple batches. It does cook fast, though. I gotta say that's one of the things kind of cool about it is it does cook fast. You added it made chili less carnivorous. So I made the chili less carnivorous. No, it still has meat in it. It just got bacon. Dude, why smoked chili is flipping amazing. Yes. Obviously, you do have to add all the the proper inducements. Your cumin, your garlic, your onion powder. Obviously, it needs to have chili powder. You pretty much go through your classic 4. Your chili powder, your cumin, your garlic powder, your onion powder. Load that thing up. Now, the thing is also, because there's a lot of canned goods, I didn't add a lot of salt. Obviously, bacon didn't really need to add a lot of salt. Obviously, all those nitrates and whatnot really didn't need to add more sodium to it. But I gotta tell you what, as that thing came out, it is good. And I commit it to you. Basic recipe is pretty easy. I could post it up someplace, but it's pretty simple. Dude, I'm starting my weight loss exercise program. You're making me hungry. Sorry, Logan. Sorry. Okay, well, here's the thing, dude. I don't know how you can make diet poutine. Or is it Putin? I think it would be Putin if you're in Quebec. You cannot make diet poutine. That's just impossible. That stuff is just good. And if you happen to slide on over to Ontario or something, or Toronto, I think Toronto is actually the worst place to go. If you're trying to diet, Toronto is like the worst place to go because it's full of good Jewish delis. It's like the worst town to go to in Canada. It's like, oh man, I was trying to lose weight and all this good food's here. That's the part that would really suck. Let me see. Scrolling over here to my Facebook again. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if you guys caught up about this or not, but it was the whole thing about Coca-Cola in their training video trying to tell their employees to, quote unquote, be less white. How do you... I really haven't figured that part out other than simply just getting like a really major suntan. But anyway, I sent them an email on their corporate website. My email to Coke, was as such. The mere fact you need to tell your employees to be less white is offensive. You have now defined yourselves in the manner of those racist assertions to a group of people, while defining their race as a behavior to not act alike, to be different than, quote unquote, those white guys. I find that objectionable. Even more offensive to say one is preferable to another. As a Jewish person, and not defining myself by skin tone, I find calling any race in any normal interactions as something to not ascribe to in this quote-unquote woke mantra of don't act like a pick an example is degrading to all people. And I will never support you all in this means of further segregating cultures. Further, I see no need to allow you to do these things in my home. I will not be purchasing any of your products, goods, or services for the foreseeable future. You do not speak for me. You all disgust me. I have lost all respect for you. I do not support fake causes disguised as racially motivated segregation and separation of cultures to elevate one over another. Good day. My name's signed. I get so disgusted with this need to separate, define, divide in liberal means of doing stuff. That's the only way to have power, really, is simply by separating groups of people and saying, oh, you're preferable to you because you are so XYZ and blah, 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 blah. And the massively overused phrase of racist. You kind of took the bite out of it. That's like a black dude calling another black dude the N-word. You're just kind of sitting there looking at him like, really? Really? That's how you guys define each other. Okay, cool, whatever. Speaking of things that are kind of cool and coming out and redefining things, I don't know if you guys caught this up or not, but another state has tipped the dominoes further away from the control freak a-holes in Washington, D.C. Utah has just joined with the other 16 states to say constitutional carry is now the law of their land. So we now have 17 states that have constitutional carry. I read Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Idaho, Kansas, Kentucky, Maine, Mississippi, Missouri, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Utah, Vermont, West Virginia, and Wyoming. That's good shit, isn't it, man? That tells the federal government, we're going to treat you guys the way that you treat weed smokers. You might say it's illegal on the federal side. We're not going to arrest them here. We're not going to do anything about it. And if you try to enforce it here, you're going to have a problem because we're going to arrest you for superseding your authority in our state. And that has happened. There's been BATF agents arrested in states that have constitutional carry and they have means of protecting their own citizenry from the overreach of federal government. And they said, you know what? We're really not feeling it. You guys can't do that kind of crap here. And if you do it, we will arrest you. And it's fun as hell to watch the videos. It really, I'm a federal official. You can't do this. Yeah, that's nice. Here's the handcuffs. Click. Shut up. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Let's see. Supposedly Montana has even taken it one step beyond, and they've said, you know what? We're going to have emergency powers introduced and scheduled for hearing to supersede the federal government in their gun legislation. All good stuff. All good stuff. Let's see. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but the wreck that Tiger Woods did to himself, supposedly he was driving like a total asshole. He was driving too fast, outdrove his abilities. He was driving a Hyundai. He was driving a Genesis. He wasn't driving a Hyundai. He was driving a Genesis. It is not a Korean BMW Hyundai at all. Sorry. So anyway, what he did was he took a turn, basically lost it, crashed and burned. They said he rolled the vehicle, but looking at it, it doesn't look like it was rolled to me. It looks like he basically like cartwheeled the thing. But what happened is that he did an impact on the engine / lower engine cradle, what have you, and put that into the floor of the vehicle. In so doing, that he crushed his right leg and I think broke his left leg, but crushed his right leg. I got to tell you, folks, anytime you have a floor intrusion accident, that's bad engineering because most cars don't allow that kind of stuff to happen. You don't get that kind of interaction with the vehicle because the engine cradle doesn't go back into the car. It goes under the car. That's the engineering as such is that, most of these cars, when they're built, if you put an impact in and you shear the bolts and you make the engine basically break loose, it goes under the car. It doesn't go into the car. Well, it went into the car and basically jacked him up even worse than it should have. That is bad engineering, and that is another reason why I'm not buying a Hyundai. So anyway, he's probably going to be either retired from golf for right now or for a long time because that kind of a leg injury you don't really heal good from. Lower leg injuries like that do not heal well at all. Let me scroll. Now having my usual snarky kind of things here. Mrs. Dude posted up on my Facebook page. I got to make mention of it, or she'll probably shoot me with one of my own firearms. But February 28th last year, I had open heart surgery. You can barely see the scar there, but I had open heart surgery. Had a quadruple bypass. So the 28th February, last day of the month, was the 1-year anniversary of me being wrenched on and good stuff like that there. So that basically is the mention I'm going to give therein, and I'm going to move out smartly because pretty much the only thing I really got going on at this point is just medication. I pretty much have, a clean bill of health as far as I know. Nothing crazy. Blood pressure is looking good. Heart rate's looking good. Every once in a while, I'll feel a little weird, but that's just the nature of it. You're always going to be a little bit not 100%, because after they do something like that, it's just things are different. So anyway, looking at the 1 year anniversary of being wrenched on. Let's see. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. This one so tickled me, and I don't know if you guys have seen this. Dunkin' Donuts, a bunch of oh yeah, man, Black Rifle Coffee. I'm not drinking them either. Mostly because they pretty much told Kyle Rittenhouse, "We're not going to recognize you. We think that you're naughty." How about you make a public statement and say, the guy was notable for protecting himself. Maybe not right, but notable for protecting himself. That's really all you truly need to say versus, we're making public comments. Yeah, Black Rifle lost a lot of respect for me on that one. I'm not drinking their stuff. Logan Ray's now losing. He's down at, shouldn't that be in centimeters, Logan? You're measuring in inches. You're measuring in imperial. You should be measuring in metric. Yeah. Come on. That's got to be what? You said 1.5 inches. What's that? 6, 8, 9 centimeters almost? Yeah. Come on. You got to do that conversion, man. All right. So looking at things. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but the guy who's no longer young, and I do mean no longer young. We're talking about Cenk Uygur, whatever his name is, the Turkish moron. But he had these 2 Twitter posts, and they're side by side. One is January 20, and one is like little ways later, I don't know, after Joe. Hang on a second. I gotta do this correct. I can't say his name without doing it incorrectly. I have to do this correctly, okay? I cannot say his name incorrectly. If I do, I'm going to hear about it. So anyway, talking about President. Yeah, that's right. He's talking about President. So we all are on board now. So anyway, he says on January 20, there's a million things left to fight for progressives. We've just begun to fight and win. But I have to say the quote-unquote return to normalcy feels amazing. Right-wing madness isn't gone and this won't last. Not having a literal lunatic in charge is an unbelievable relief. Okay, I'm kind of amping the voice up for him, okay? So I forget what the date is for the next one, but basically he says this just a little while later. So, at Joe... Basically his Twitter page. So, at... Yeah, bombs Syria and kills the minimum wage hike, confirming every fear progressive had. Soon they'll renege on getting $2,000 checks to everyone in the middle class by limiting who gets it, quote, to appease their donors, end quote. The establishment is back, and it absolutely sucks. Cenk, booby, dumbass. You're supporting stupid socialists. They are not progressives. The biggest thing you can say about a progressive is that's the AOC group of people trying to usurp the rest of the Democrat Party, who are a bunch of socialists. Call it what it is, okay? So next time you feel that they, stuck one in your back and you go, et tu, Brutus? You asked for it, okay? Remember, you asked to stick it straight in your boo-boo. That's right, Cirque. You asked for, and you are not going to get death by snoo-snoo. You are not getting any snoo-snoo at all, my friend. You are getting... Oh, would you stop with the ding, sound guy? He does that deliverance squeal and has to put the ding on it, okay? Every flipping time. I got a really bad itch today, sound guy, okay? Yeah, right there, Bubby. Right there. Anyway, so, Cenk is the Young Turks, and he's not young, okay? I love this. This never, ever fails to crack me up. You see these media guys, and they post this picture of themselves to say, and it's like a picture of themselves like about 10, 15 years previous. They don't look like that now, man. They really don't, okay? What you see is what you get. You get the honest thing from me. I'm not going to try to hide myself with some kind of fake toupee or spray on crap or something. Sorry, bodies rust. It's that whole age thing, man. I look at older pictures of myself and I'm like, crap, I wish I still looked like that, but oh well. I'm still here, taking a slide for life. Let's see. Scroll. Me being snarky. I already told you guys about HR 8. Call, visit, text all your representatives, congressmen, senators. Let them know you do not want registration of your stuff. You can ask the guys up in Canada how that one worked, man. It didn't, okay? It's not going to, and it is nothing anybody ever truly could want, because having somebody know where all your stuff is at all times is not freedom. And as a matter of fact, Mr. Government over control, overreaching a-hole, you're not going to know where it is, because people are simply just going to go, you know what? I don't have that anymore. Where'd it go? I don't know. It's gone now. Can't help you. Goodbye. Oh, well, we know that you have this in your house someplace. Really? Got a warrant? Oh, well, no. Come back with a warrant. Scroll. Oh, thanks, Logan. Appreciate that one. It says happy anniversary. The one Canadian rebelled against the metric system. I think it's you and Mark Stein, dude. Remember in grade school when they introduced metric system to us, we just said, what the hell is that? Oh, man. Patriot Fever says, no snoo happening here after Mrs. Patriot and the Nerf gun. She's still holding, oh, no. Oh, she's holding you still sore. Oh, well. He-Man's still sore. No Nerf, no. Don't Nerf gun the better half, or you're not going to get snoo, okay? Just don't do it, okay? Scroll. I think that's pretty much everything I got in my stack of stuff. Coming up on, let's see, hour and a half time period. Basically, looking now, I think my clock is wrong. Where is it? Why is it saying an hour and a half? I don't know. It's saying an hour and a half on my clock, but it's only saying 10:14 on the actual clock. All right, well, I'm going to break off with this one, guys. I appreciate your kind attentions. Do be sure to check out my buddies over at Around the Cabin. Still waiting for Rich to rev things back up. We are, hang on a second here, wrong button. That's the one I'm running. Right there. That's what I wanted. Yep. Hang on. Okay, so Around the Cabin news, Around the Cabin buy, sell, and trade, Around the Cabin medicinal cannabis, Around the Gardens Gate, and good stuff like that. There, do be sure to check them out, aroundthecabin.com, aroundthecabin.com/campfire. And, of course, you can find me on Twitter as 80SPCC. If you guys are watching me on YouTube, obviously you're seeing me on 80s Podcast channel. Obviously on Facebook, Dude Jerky 2. And, of course, since I've done all the fact check blocking, maybe I'll be on for more than 2 weeks at a time. I don't know, man. But it seemed kind of sweet at the moment because it seems I'm under less introspection of people going, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? We know that you're doing something. As they're like butt checking me for every minor excursion into me being me. Anyway, that one. I appreciate your kind attention. I'm going to bring up this one. Eat good, keep rings always. You know what, you love it. And you guys have many other places to go, but you hung out with me. So you got a gold star for attendance. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. And I'll catch you guys either with another video this week or later on and next week. Thank you guys again, and catch you later. See ya.